Hi guys, this is Dr. Michael Ullman, and I wanted to compare the My Callback app vision testing with what I think is a very popular app for eye care professionals, the Eye Handbook app that also has vision testing options. I just wanted to show you the various options and the pros and cons of both. So for the My Callback app, we'll start with this. For let me show you here. We'll just do the near testing now. So this is for where it says at the bottom here, hold it 15 inches. You have a few different options here as far as optotypes. You have letters, numbers, and just if you go across the top here, pediatric, optotypes, tumbling E, Landolt C, and HOTV testing. In addition to that, if you tap the view mode, you can switch from rows to columns, to single optotypes, and even single optotypes with the crowding bars. As far as near testing on the Eye Handbook app, one second, let me wait for this ad to clear off here. 1 second. They have a lot of options as well. You have the 10-foot testing, the near cards, the near vision testing, inverted cards, and pediatric optotypes. So they do have the inverted types here that the My Callback doesn't have. Let me compare here the near vision testing. So here's a near card. So for the Eye Handbook app here, they do have different modes here. You can swipe and it goes to different modes. Within each type though, you can't shuffle it or get a new set of numbers or letters. Whereas one advantage I would say with the My Callback app is when you're viewing it here, you can tap the shuffle button, and within each optotype you can show various charts. That's one kind of cool thing. But one thing I wanted to draw your attention to when this ad clears here is like the accuracy of the test. So I will include a table with the millimeter heights of the optotypes, but just to kind of demonstrate to you here, the Eye Handbook at the 2100 line, if you kind of take a ruler, the 2100, this is an iPhone Pro Max, so it can be very different depending on what phone you have. So I would encourage you to test it yourself, see what you get. But for me, for the 2100 line, I get about 4 millimeters in height, and 4 millimeters is for 2100 it should be less than 3 millimeters. It should be about 2.75, 2.8 millimeters. So in reality, if this is 4 millimeters, you're really testing 2150. So the accuracy isn't perfect with the near vision on this, but it's pretty close. It's decent for screening. One thing with the My Callback app, which I like, a new feature we did, is if you tap this info button, you can actually calibrate the screen. If you click calibrate screen, and you can actually take any credit card and hold it up to your screen and confirm that it is exactly correct. And it should actually be correct no matter what, even without this calibration. It changes the chart depending on your model phone. But if you did something to the phone post-market or something's weird, you have a new phone or an old phone, you can do the slider to match the size of your phone. And when you hit calibrate, it will actually change the size of the optotypes to make it perfect. So if you go back and you measure, let's say, the 2800 line here, so you can't really see here, but it's just about over 2 centimeters at 2800, and that's pretty much spot on to what you'd expect. You'd expect about 22 millimeters, and again, if you test it yourself, get a ruler, you'll see it's pretty much spot on, and it'll be spot on for all of the optotypes. So I think the accuracy edge goes to the My Callback app. Of course, I'm biased. This is my app, but I think if you test it yourself, you'll see there's a significant difference in accuracy. As far as distance testing goes, let's show the difference there. So we'll just get through this ad again here. 1 second. If you go to 10 foot, that's the distance testing with the Eye Handbook. You can see the font's a little weird, but and it's just letters. You can't do, I don't think you can do any other optotype, but I will say I was surprised to see if you measure it, at least on the iPhone Pro Max that I'm testing on, and let's say I'll measure the 2070 line. This should be about 1.9 millimeters, or I'm sorry, centimeters. It's pretty darn accurate. So I think compared to the near vision, it's pretty good. So 2070 at 10 feet, looking at my chart, it should be about 15 millimeters. And if you look here, it's pretty darn close. So distance testing, the optotype seemed pretty darn good. As far as the distance testing with the my callback app, again, you'll see the calibration. So if you go to 2070 here, it will be really spot on. And again, please test it yourself. But a few cool things is you can hit shuffle to shuffle through different optotypes. You can do, again, all the different types of optotypes. And my favorite part is if you hit change viewing distance, you're presented with two options. One option is if you hit measure distance with iPhone, you can tap that and it'll say place the iPhone close to the patient in a well-lit area and walk in a straight line. And basically what it's doing is as you walk away from the patient, it's calibrating the distance. And then you can click set distance. So now I set the distance for a viewing distance of 1.8 feet. And basically all the optotypes will be calibrated to that distance. Or if you hit change viewing distance and you hit enter distance manually, you can enter 6 feet, we'll say, and hit save. And then it will actually change it to 6 feet. So for distance viewing, you have distance testing, you have some more options. And if you do this, you can actually save multiple distances. So let's say you have an exam lane, you know the distance for that exam lane is 6 feet. You just type that in and you're basically having you have a preset favorite there. Now with all the eye charts, the distance, the near, with this, with the My Callback app, if you tap this, you can switch to metric mode. So you can see now it'll say all the data as a metric distance, which I don't think the Eye Handbook really just has 2060. Sorry, another ad here. It doesn't have a way to show metric that I can tell. Let's see. Another thing here is if you can toggle the brightness all the way up. So that's a quick and easy thing. And if you go to that info button again, you can change the default optotype. So let's say you're a pediatric ophthalmologist or you just prefer numbers over letters. You can select your numbers. You can select logmar as well if you'd like to show logmar. And now when you're testing, you can show the logmar. And whenever you go back to either your distance or your near chart, you're going to have your default as the numbers. And again, you just go back here and you can switch it to whatever you'd like to go back. That's pretty much the summary. So, let me also show you, sorry, another ad. The pediatric optotypes for the Eye Handbook. You can see they're, even within the row, they're not consistent as far as sizing goes. So the star is about 5 millimeters on mine on the 2100 line. And again, 5 millimeters if you look at the chart at a distance of about 14 inches should be about 2200, not 2100. But if you look at the plus symbol, it's about 3 millimeters. So just within the same row, there's not a consistency there. And there's only one type of pediatric optotype, whereas the My Callback app, you have pediatric optotypes. And another thing I forgot to mention, probably my favorite part of my Callback app, is it uses the true depth camera, and you can see it gives you a color coding guide. So if you're in the green, you know you're holding it at the correct position, so that's 38 centimeters because we're in metric mode, or if we turn on imperial mode here, it's 15 inches. Now if you bring the chart too close, it'll actually tell you to move the chart away, and if you go too far, it'll say, would you like to move it closer or further away? If you keep moving further away, the chart actually switches to the intermediate mode. So this, if you see, look at the bottom, it says hold at 26 inches. If you find this annoying where you don't want it switching on its own, you can just manually control which chart's being shown, and that disables the auto switching. But it just adds one extra layer of accuracy where you know it's calibrated to the screen, and also you know you're holding it in the correct position. Let's see, what other features can we compare? That's pretty much it. You might notice you'll see quite a bit of ads with the eye chart app here, and it can be a little annoying when you're trying to test a patient's vision and you're saying read this and then you're hit with an ad. But one thing that's really nice about this is it's totally free, whereas the My Callback app has 0 ads, but it's a one-time fee. So that can obviously is a big negative compared to a totally free app. That's pretty much it. Please explore the other tools on both the apps. Give me your thoughts on the differences. I'm really proud of what we were able to accomplish with the Near Chart app here, but there's a lot of other really cool tools. You can customize what tools you're using in the settings. So if you want to turn off, it's just too many tools, you can quickly toggle off the tools you don't want to have. There's a lot of augmented reality things like the Hertel exophthalmometer, the pupillary distance measurement. All these, by the way, all the augmented reality aspects are very much a beta tool. Augmented reality apps have errors. It's not a precise thing, but it's better than nothing. You also have an eye disease simulator where if you want to discuss kind of what different disease processes look like, you can show with augmented reality, for instance, what a cataract would look like. And another really cool tool is the OKN Drum, where you can actually toggle the width. You can pinch to change the size of the stripes. You can increase the speed, and you can even switch to pediatric figures like animals for people that might not be as interested in looking at stripes like little kiddos. The Eye Handbook also has an OKN Drum. I'll show you after this ad here. 1 second. So this OKN Drum, and what is nice is you can customize the speed here. You can't change the size or change the graphics, but it is something there. I'll show you color vision testing too. The Eye Chart app, the Eye Handbook app does have color testing. It doesn't have the answers immediately, where you can toggle the answers on, but most of us can see color. But as far as the color testing here, what's nice is you can actually hit the shuffle button and it'll randomize the plates. You can tap this button and then change to different types of color testing, and you can actually toggle the answers on if you want to do that as well. They both have a ton of calculators as well. So if you go to the calculators, this is the My Callbacks calculator, and if you type in something like LASIK, it'll quickly pull up all the relevant clinical calculators. And one thing I really like about this is if you tap that star, it adds it to your favorites. So if you have a few calculators that you use a lot, you can easily keep track of them. The Eye Handbook does have a few calculators. Sorry, gotta wait through this ad here. If you click down at that calculator button, it has a decent amount of calculators too. You can't really search through them, at least I don't think, or maybe you can with the search button, I'm not really sure. Doesn't look like you can search through the calculators here, but there are a few. You can't really favorite them, and they did add a new grader here, which is another kind of calculator, kind of different, where you can find some grading scales. Other tools, they have like a fluorescein light where you can change this. I think this is supposed to be for brightness, but it really just changes the white level of the blue light. The blue light on the My Callback app, right when you tap it, it automatically will increase the screen brightness to 100%, and you can toggle that with the light bulb here, and you can switch for red desaturation, but so a little nicer there. As far as I'll just wait for this calculator. This is the EHMB indirect camera. It's supposed to be, I think, for taking indirect fundus photography. Really, it does a decent job. You can control the torch, which is really the most important part of indirect fundus photography, and you can control the focal point and exposure. A few things is you can't pinch to zoom, and the zoom's a little wonky here, and you can't label things. I'll show you the benefits of the Ullman Indirect, which is the first smartphone fundus app. Some of the benefits here is if you tap this patient info button, you can actually type in patient information, and that will be added to the photographs for the Ullman Indirect. And you can actually switch between different cameras, and you can take still or video photography. And the sliders at the bottom here can control the torch, focus, exposure. What else here? As far as other tests, the Duochrome test here, we'll just sit through for the Eye Handbook. You can see it's a duochrome test. It's a little kind of asymmetrical. They do have numbers and tumbling E. The My Callback app has all the different optotypes available. You can shuffle as well. It's a little cleaner, more symmetrical looking. This does not include visual acuities next to it, because duochrome testing is really for refinement of a refraction versus actually determining someone's visual acuity. Another thing you can compare is the contrast test. So just like the Duochrome test, just like all the eye charts in the My Callback app, you have all the available optotypes, and you can shuffle. You can tap this button to reveal the answers, and if you tap the info button, it gives you kind of a breakdown on how to use the chart. When you compare it to the chart here, once we'll get through this ad here, you can see it's kind of it looks like just really a screenshot of a contrast test. You can't shuffle or change optotypes, and it's the optotypes are they look a little blurry actually, so not quite as good in my opinion. The Eye Handbook does have Amsler grids. It has 4 different varieties. You can't draw on them or annotate them at all, but this can be really helpful for if you're trying to screen someone for a scotoma or metamorphopsia. The Amsler grid testing on the My Callback app, it's kind of nice because you can actually draw on it. You can use all the different types of tools, so you can change colors, you can change if you want a marker or crayon, however crazy you want to get with it. You can do it. So let me change this. So you can see that I'm drawing light pencil blue here. And then if you tap this patient info button, you can annotate it with patient information, some notes, and you click save, and it'll save to your camera roll. What else can we compare here? That is pretty much it. I mean, there's some worth 4-dot tests here where you have pediatric optotypes. Compared to the Eye Handbook, you'll see, one second, they just have this one picture. It's a little too small, I think. They're pediatric fixation types. I'll show you. You can do with or without sound, which is kind of nice. But it's just kind of an animated GIF. The pediatric fixation targets here in my callback app. You can see it's a full screen, intense graphic. And you can tap this sound button to turn sound on as well. I usually find the best fixation target is like YouTube and showing a cartoon that they like, but if you don't have internet or Wi-Fi, that's an option. And they both have a bunch of other unique features. One thing I like with the Eye Handbook is they have this form where there's always people posting stuff and just random, images. Let's see, what other things? That's pretty much a good summary of things. Please let me know what you think. Tell me what you'd like as far as new features or things you like about the My Callback app versus the Eye Handbook or vice versa. And I appreciate you taking the time to learn about it. Thank you.